Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to another video of nestjs advanced course, and here we are talking about module 1. And in this module we are talking only about the basic stuff. We have already covered a couple of videos talking about the basic features, basic building blocks, interceptor, filters, pipes, and we talked about a simple CRUD operation with the help of Postgres TypeORM, and we have created these packages. Now I will talk about a couple of more things. Let's say we can talk about what is a cyclic dependency in the nestjs and how we can introduce another package or another module. Let's say if I want to build a logger module, then how should we do it? And after that we will write our own package, or you can say nestjs library or package or a module in the PNPM packages. And then that will be the dynamic package built by ourselves, and we can call the forRoot and forRootAsync on that package to use that in our application. So first of all, what we are going to do, let's try to understand the cyclic dependency. Cyclic dependency is simple logic. Let's say what happens is I create a auth module here. Inside I create a auth, and here I create a auth service.ts and auth module.ts. Okay, I can just copy the same user module and we'll just replace things. So this is auth module, right? We don't have much lots of things inside this. We are just going to have simple auth service, because I just wanted to give a demo like what is cyclic dependency and how we resolve it. There might be a use case sometimes where you need to have a interdependencies of two modules on one another. Let's say user module depends on auth module depends on the user. It's really a cyclic dependency, but can we fix it? Like there is a constraint, I have to use it this way only. Like auth service has authentication logic and user service has a user management logic. Auth service also wants to access the user services to do the CRUD operations, and user service also needs to access the auth services to validate if user is logged in or something like that. So let's see how we do it. Here we can create a simple auth service. So simple auth service we can create, and here we are going to have a simple constructor. This is injectable, right? So this is our auth service and this is our auth module. Here I can inject or add auth service in the provider, and I will also export this because I want this service to be used by user service. And similarly, here I have a user module, user service. I will export this also so that any other module can use it. So this is my user module. Now what I will do is user module, I'm importing the auth module here, and I will import the user module there. Inside auth module I will import a user module. Okay, and where it is coming from, auth service, let's see, auth module and auth service. Inside auth module can't find user entity. I don't have those things here. Let me restart this. So I will restart this application first so that we can get rid of these TypeScript errors. Okay, now I do see one circular dependency error. You can see a circular dependency between modules. So why that is happening? Because auth module depends on the user and user module depends on auth. And we have this scenario that we cannot get rid of it. We need to find a way to fix it. So it is saying that use forward reference. So how do we do it? I mean, in all the documentations will tell you this is how you do it. So inside our auth service, what we are doing is we are using private read only user service. And similarly, inside the user service, in the user service, we are using auth service, private read-only auth service, right? But this is here we are using the services also because we are importing the module. That means we wanted to exchange, we wanted to use the services in auth service using the user service is using auth service, and obviously that's a problem. So how should we fix it? We need to inject the forward ref in both the services. So it's auth service. I will do the forward reference of auth service here. Similarly, I need to do the same thing at the other service, which is auth service, forward reference user service. Okay, that is the one fix at the service level. Now we need to fix the same thing at our module level also. We need to use forward reference. So in auth module, I will just use forward reference user module, and at this user module, I will use a forward reference auth module. Okay, so that fixed my problem. Earlier it was complaining the cyclic dependencies, now it is fixed. So in a particular scenario or a particular case, we should be able to use this kind of scenario where one module depends on another and another module depends on the same module. So in complex application where we have lots of services, we cannot put each and everything in a shared module, right? Shared module is something which can be added in any module, so it won't lead us to a cyclic dependency. But sometimes there are some common logic and common services written in some module which you need to import, which you need to use in another module, and another module is already using the other module, so it's a cyclic dependency. But we can get rid of it by just using a forward reference at the service level and at the module level. Okay, so now the next thing we can talk about is simple the logger functionality using nestjs. So there is a nestjs pre-built logger which we can use using nestjs logger. Okay, or you can write your own custom logger, and we have lots of logging library, debug, Winston, Puno. I know the different logging libraries which provides a console output, and nestjs logger provides the extension feature that you can write your own custom logger, and you can just use it. You can just use that in the app instance. So let's take a look onto that. So when we are writing these services, how can we use this inbuilt nestjs logger? That's simple. You go to the domain and any of your service. Let's say I'm just doing this user service. Here I want to use some logging. So what I can do is, let's say this is my service name, user service dot name, the class name, and this logger you can import from nestjs common logger, and here in your code you can start adding the this dot logger dot error. Let's say you are doing something here, it's just only one liner, it's not going to break. But let's say you are doing some transactions and all where you have a possibility that this code can break. In that case, you can just start adding the loggings like this. And this dot logger dot info. Now because you got the instance of logger dot log, and you can just log some message handling fetch users. Okay, maybe some user data or something. So this is how you can enable the logging, and when you call this you would be able to get this logging. And you can also register logging as a middleware. What I mean to say is, because sometimes what happens is this is only for the HTTP requests, because HTTP requests will come from because what we want to do is all the requests which are coming to my nestjs APIs, I should be able to log it and see it. By doing the logging like this will only be printed only if you are hitting this particular request. But I want a particular format for my all the requests to be logged on the console. So what you can do is you can create a simple middleware also for that, which is like app log middleware, right? This is simple function, right? But you can write your own middleware which does lots of things on top of that. Simple middleware is this logger middleware, nest middleware, and it is just logging all the requests. it is also using the same logger module, logging HTTP request, status code and all. And this logging middleware you can register to your root module. And we already know how to register a module for all the routes. Go to your domain module and here consumer.apply, right? Consumer.apply logger middleware for all the routes. Okay. Logger middleware. Yes, that's it. Okay, we are importing it somewhere. Okay, it started. Right now, this is how when you hit any HTTP requests, then we should be able to log it on the console. So here I can see the logging is happening. You can see app logger middleware. I applied for all the routes and it is just logging a simple HTTP request. And I can see that request is coming down like this. I can hit this request a couple of times and I can see this kind of a logging, right? So this is logging is happening because we enabled it and we are not using the custom logger. We are using the predefined the logger. I mean, we are using this from the nestjs common, this logger module, nestjs common, this logger module, or you can write your own custom logger with the help of Winston or any other console logging library, and you can override the logger which nestjs provides. So let's see that overriding, creating your own custom logger and override it with the nestjs default logger. Let's see that in the next video.